Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and right now we are going to make two simple, well, relatively simple necklaces using our SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit Ugly Sweater. Now one is going to be a leather necklace and the other one is going to be a bar necklace with chain. And we're going to use the sweater charm and this sweater bead on our leather necklace, as well as these guys, the big hole green ones. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do with this first one. So I have some leather here and I'm trying to decide how long I want this to be. I probably want about 20 inches. So we're going to cut some 20 inches of our leather here. So there's 12, and then, it would be fine at 18. I'm just making it 20, so we have plenty. Cut our leather off right here, and then we won't need it anymore, so we can set it aside. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to string these beads on here. And if you want, you could put your end cap on one side right now. If you're going to do that, you need some super glue. Use a super glue Loctite. And you're just going to dab a bit inside your end cap here. Okay, so then I'm going to push my leather into here, and I'm not going to go all the way quite through. I can just see it there, and I have some glue on my fingers. What else is new? And then you're going to take your pliers, and you're going to squish down this middle piece right here. Oops, I think I may have squished a bit too hard. So I think I broke the piece. Let's see. Yep, it came off. It broke the leather. So we'll need to get a new one of those. But in the meantime, we will just use this other one because we're not needing it yet. So we'll put some Loctite in this side. Some of these end caps are a little bit tougher than others, so I squeezed obviously a little too hard. So we want to squish this little piece down here in the middle. I'm going to turn it over and squish the other side too. Now see, this one is tougher than the other one. That isn't hardly going down there, but it is, so that's fine. So like I said, I will have to get another one of these ends. I do have some more, so that's not a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these big hole silver beads. These were not from one of these does not have, see right here, it doesn't have its silver piece, so I'm going to make sure that one goes by the sweater. So we're going to go like so. Now I'm going to put one of these rings on, and I'm putting that ring on because I'm going to hook some chain to it. Come on, baby, go through. There we go. Now I'll put the other ring on. Then the next green, silver, green, and silver. So now we have all the beads on, and it's going to look like so. And these are our findings right here. But what we're going to do with our sweater here now is we're going to take and get some of our chain here that we have out for our other necklace, and we're going to string it from here to here, and we're going to hang our sweater off of it. So that looks like a goodly amount right there where we've got it, so I'm probably going to cut it right in here. And for this, I'm going to get my heavy-duty cutters because I'm not sure if these links are stainless or not, so we don't want to. I think they are. They're pretty tough. Okay, so we'll put this back up here for when we go make our bar necklace. And we're going to, I'm going to get another jump ring out to use instead of this one that's on it, because it's not welded, I'm fairly positive. No, it's not. Opened up way too easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Tinky Tots. Now I'm going to get a medium one for the actual sweater, but we're going to use the Tinky Tots to hook this onto our decorative silver ring here. Come on, you guys. And we're going to open one of these, put it through this ring, and then through one end of our chain. And there should be enough room in our Tinky Tot to do this. Come on, baby. There we go. So now we close this baby up. And now we're going to go over and hook the chain to the other ring on the other side. Oop. So chain and then our silver ring. Now these are closed rings, or I would have just hooked it the chain directly to the ring, but because they're closed rings, it wouldn't do that. So now we have our chain hanging down here, and I'm going to just use this ring here because we have it here. I think it's big enough. If it's not, I will just use the big one. So then he's going to go over here and then over the chain. I'm not going in one of the links. I want to go over the whole chain. And consequently, we are going to need a bigger loop. So we're going to get this one out. And go through the chain, all the way through over the chain, and then put our sweater onto here. And close this up. Now, if you wanted to, you could put it, hook your sweater in the chain. I didn't want to, because I thought it would look cuter, just so it could move around as it saw fit. So, because we have this one end already done, and we have our jump ring, our small jump ring open, or our medium jump ring, I should say, we're going to hook our lobster claw on this side. Oops, lobster claw, come back here. And I did test this lobster claw. It's working just fine. Oops, come on, close. There we go. So there is our lobster claw on this side. So to finish this off, all we need to do is get the other end cap. Now where did it go? I know I have one over here. Okay, I found the other end cap and put it in place just as we did our other one, and then I put on a large jump ring, and so now we are finished, though it does need to still dry. But as soon as it dries, it's entirely finished, and that's what it looks like. Isn't that cute? So that is our ugly sweater necklace with our sweater ball and our sweater charm and the big hole beads. So this one can be set aside because we are done with it, other than, like I say, letting it dry. So it could just sit right here. Actually, I'm going to make sure these pieces do not hit the sweater. We don't want to get super glue on our little sweater. So now for our other necklace. Uh-oh, what are you doing? Maybe I got super glue on that. We're going to get a piece of 20 gauge wire. We're going to throw our pliers on the floor. Okay, so we have our 20 gauge wire here. We probably don't need very much. I'm going to cut about this much. It's probably more than I need. But better too much than not enough. So then what we need to do is we need to decide the length of our necklace. Well, actually we can just I do not want this to be a really long necklace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut I think I'm going to cut 8 inches of chain for either side. That's 16 inches, and then with the bar it will be closer probably to 20. So, come here, you. Get your link out of there. So, there's our first 8-inch piece of chain. Now we need a second 8-inch piece. So there is our 2 pieces of chain and our piece of wire. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to take one end of our wire here and we're going to bend it over, get out our bell making pliers. I think I'm going to use this second rather than the smallest. Up and around and over, bring it down, bring it around, bring it over, and leave a gap because we're going to feed our chain on. And that's why I already cut it so that we could just feed it directly onto here. And then we're going to grab our wire here and bring it together. And then we're going to wrap oh, probably 3 or 4 times. Well, let's see if I can do it by hand some. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see if it says 4 on both sides, though. It has to come all the way around here to be 4 on this side. So now we'll trim this wire off and make sure it's tucked in pretty good. Don't want it snagging anybody. Then we're going to start feeding our beads on. And how I'm going to do this is we're going to use one of the little red ones, one of these star spacers, bicone, star spacer, the millifiori, then one of these, I call them disco balls. I don't know what they're really called, but I tend to roll my fingers around on them before I use them, because these are little pieces of metal that are connected together, and actually if you cut them apart, you can flatten them into sort of a flower. So then we're going to put one of these drops on, another one of these. Now see, it's got a sticky up spot right here, so I'm going to push it down and then feed it on. Oh, come on, where's your hole? I just saw it. There it is. Now the next thing I'm going to put on is another one of these little red rondelles, then one of the star spacers, the square, other star spacer, little rondelle. Now one of these guys, the drop, the other one of these. One of these is sticking out a little bit. See if I can get it to roll back into place better. There we go. The millifiori. Oh, come on, where's your hole? There we go. Star spacer, bicone, star spacer, and the little red rondelle. So there's how it looks for our bar. Now, you can see I have about 1 inch or 2 more wire than I need, and that's all right. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So now we need to do the loop on this side. So because this is facing this direction, we want this one to face the same way. Now, if it decides you get it off kilter, that's all right. We can twist it if we need to. So put that around. Now we're at our second one here. So up and around and over, bring it down, bring it around, bring it over, leave that gap, put your chain on. Come on, baby. Hold this in place and wrap this side up. Get our chain out of the way before we cut the excess off. And then we want to tuck that extra wire down in carefully so you don't break stuff. If you guys were watching the snowflake this morning, you got to see me break 2 beads. So there is our ends. They're pretty well onto each other. Now this side is bent up a little bit more over here. So we either A, need to move it down some, or B, we need to move this side up some. So I think I've got it pretty good right there. It looks pretty good. So now the only thing left to do is to put our hardware on. So we want to open up the smaller of these two, the medium one. Bind it into the chain. Go through a loop. Get your lobster claw and close it up. Then we'll put the big one on the other side. Now I never did check to see if the lobster claw would go through this chain. I'm going to do that because that way if it's longer than somebody wants it and you could, if it fits, just hook the lobster claw in the chain wherever. Not sure it's going to work. It feels like the lobster claw may be too big. Well, it'll go. It's not pretty. It doesn't slide around, but it will go in. I don't like it, but it will go on if you really wanted it to. But I don't really want it to. So I'll just hook it where it should be. So there's our little bar necklace all finished. So there is actually both our necklaces finished. Here's our ugly sweater, leather one. Let me fill. Feels like it's pretty dry now. So we can hook it together. So necklace number 1, our leather necklace with our big sweater bead and our sweater charm. And necklace number 2 with our pretty beads and a bar necklace. 2 necklaces, so different, but pretty simple, both of them. So there you go. 2 pretty simple, but pretty necklaces. Now this one is more of a pretty necklace. It's going to it's not choker style, obviously, because it comes down some, but it's not real long either. Let's see if I can back up so you can see. See, it's not long, but it's very pretty. So that's number 1. Well, actually, this was necklace number 2. We finished it second. And then our sweater necklace is number 1. Ta-da! It's so cute. So then that would it's actually probably about the same length as the bar necklace when it's on. So maybe a little bit longer. But there we go. That's what it looks like. So as I said, 2 simple but very different necklaces made with our ugly sweater design challenge kit from SoftFlex Design Company. Hope you enjoyed making those with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. Bye-bye.